in the last year and a half, last couple of years, it's really easy to kind of find the darkness, right? It's easy to keep looking for it. And there's plenty of people that want to share it with us. And the thing that I found every single day, not just on the river, but the weeks and the months leading up to it, was a lot of people looking for hope. And my goal at the end of the day was to survive the trip, obviously, but it was also to bring people something that they needed, which was something else to focus on other than the darkness. And so for 2 months, I had that opportunity to share with people something that was much brighter than the darkness that they were looking at. And as I've told people time and time again, I am the least qualified person to have been anywhere near the river. I'm afraid of the dark, I'm scared of animals, I don't like camping, I have no skills that prepared me for this. But what I had was an enduring faith and confidence in the hope that people had along the river to help me get to the end. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here tonight. For those of you who were with me at the beginning, for those of you who continue to be supporting Spare Key and helping those families that we're trying to help. At the end of the day, that's what this trip was really all about. It was about helping families facing a medical crisis avoid adding a financial crisis to their lives. It was about raising money to help them pay their bills, to make sure that they could focus on the care and recovery of somebody that they love every single day. And so beyond all of the books, beyond all the newspaper stories and the radio stories and everything else, at the core of this trip was about helping those families. That's what this book is about, is continuing that journey of giving them hope for the future. And so on behalf of all of us at Spare Key, on behalf of those families that we're trying to help, I want to say thank you for being with us on this river of hope and on this journey of hope, which really never ends. So for those of you who I haven't signed the book for, I'm happy to sign the book. For those of you who want to grab pictures with the most amazing celebrity in the room, which is my mother, you can certainly do that. And before I leave you all, my job that I have is I want to read a very short piece of the book, which is the preface of the book, and it'll be very quick. The writing of this book seems now like a logical conclusion to my Hope on the River journey. It wasn't planned or imagined, and for that matter, it has been as interesting, challenging, and frightening as the journey itself. I spent the better part of my adult life writing for myself and for others. I don't consider myself a particularly great writer, and my daughter Maisie will attest to the fact that I violate nearly every generally accepted rule of writing. Amy Martin, who has helped me bring this book to fruition, will also confirm that my unorthodox writing style belies easy editing, formatting, or for that matter, literary structure. I write like I talk, quickly, and often with fast, abbreviated sentences followed by what can be lengthy, run-on commentary about things that capture my imagination. Something that drives my daughter nuts, annoyed Amy to no end, and yet has become as much a part of who I am as the wrinkles on my face and the gray in my increasingly thinning hair. My ability to put words to paper or to a word processor could have never happened without learning the most important skill I've ever possessed in my life, the ability to type. This was perhaps the most important skill I ever learned in Fairmount High School. Without this ability, I doubt my life would have ever taken the direction it did, or I would have had anywhere near the adventures I've had in my life. I consider myself to be a storyteller. Even in my role as executive director of Spare Key, my job is to tell the story of this nonprofit's mission, and it's what I've been doing since 2012 when I took on that role. Spare Key will be the recipient of every dollar earned by the sale of this book. We will use the funds to continue to support our program that assists families in all 50 states and the District of Columbia find the financial resources they need to help them pay their bills while dealing with medical emergencies. And this book is my chance to tell another story to help those very families. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out a way to capture the essence and meaning of my Hope on the River trip. To be sure, I was looking to raise money and awareness for Spare Key, but if that was all the trip was going to be about, it wasn't going to embody what I felt was an important part of the message we have tried to convey as long as I've been executive director. That our mission, at its core, is about giving hope. From my first phase leading the organization to the moment I got on the ground, I have always believed that my job and the purpose of everything I do is to work towards giving hope to families who far too often find themselves far too little. The more I planned the trip, the more I read about the river, the more I found the synergy between the river itself and the mission of Spare Key. The river has instilled a never-ending reservoir of hope to people who have lived on or near it for as long as human inhabitants have been on the land which it flows. The water that begins the river in Itasca finds its way to the Gulf of Mexico, but the river never stops flowing. Nor does the hope that people need during the darkest, most difficult time of their life. I was looking to find hope for Spare Key, but I was also looking to share with people along the river that Spare Key was about bringing hope to those who needed it most. So bringing and finding hope on the river became the name, purpose, and meaning of my journey. This book, like my journey, would have never been possible without the support, encouragement, and kindness of so many people that I fear their names themselves would result in an entire book. Rather than forget anyone, I want to thank everyone involved for making it possible and for being with me on my little raft looking for hope on the river. This book is ultimately dedicated to Captain Michael Coyle, whose wisdom, advice, and kindness kept me alive, the thousands of men and women who live, work, raise their families, and build America on this remarkable river. My brother Fred, his daughter Matilda, my son Owen, my dear friend John Happets, my brother-in-law John Richter, and my buddy Reagan Zant for building me a raft that got me exactly as far as Baton Rouge and no further. To the Spare Key Board of Directors, to Jason House, Cindy Coble, Julie Peterson-Klein, Rob Rowe, and Wendy Pager for their past, present, future leadership, and to the dedicated staff of Abby Hunt, Sarah Putnam, Alexia Sebesta, Christy Beaudre, Talia Simonet, and the many sponsors of my journey. To my mother Betty for being the inspiration for every adventure in my life, for Gus Gaspardo and the paddling river boats right across the river, for believing that I could take this trip, for Lee Nelson of Upper River Services down the river for making me believe I could do it. For every stranger who became a friend along my journey on the river, to my brother Carl, for whom I could never succeed in reaching my goal, to my wife Mary Helen, my son Owen, and daughter Maisie, who keep me afloat in every mile I travel in life. Thank you all for being here. Give me one.
Do I just take one of these, or?
We're looking for a donation.
Okay, you're gonna get it.
Tell me your name, my friend.
Carlo, C-A-R-L-O.
C-A-R-L-O.
James, J-A-M-E-S. La Manna, L-A, capital M-A-N-N-A. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.